Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let me give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, we had Deku, and we also had his clones. Deku, he was battling off against Kane. However, he was battling off against Morlun as well. Now, Deku and Kane, they teamed up. If both of them die or are taken down by Morlun, neither one of them will see Toga again. And Kane can rationalize this guy being a bigger threat. Now, Deku and Kane fought him, along with even Jessica. However, Deku sustained some very bad injuries, and Kane got away. However, Morlun was taken down. Deku, he impaled the man on his arm, and he kept him there long enough for the male's healing factor to stop, along with his heart to stop functioning. Now, Morlun died in Deku's arms, and Deku, he was taken back home to recover. However, with Inko returning home, there was an issue. She wanted to talk to Izuku and find out what was going on, but then there was Julia. Julia had to make a bit of a cover story, so she did. All she did was mess up her hair a bit, put on Deku's glasses, and make sure to act a little bit more coy. Make sure to make herself look smaller. Make sure she does also not let Inko get a good look at her. And it worked. Right now, Inko thinks that her son, after being put through the stress of losing his father, losing his girlfriend, and dealing with school even over a year later, she thinks that Deku, he's dating again. And, well, apparently he went to a party with a girl last night, and she stayed over at her home, walked out wearing Izuku's clothes. Yeah, Inko's kind of worried about that. She doesn't understand that this is a clone. Now, with all that being said, Deku, he woke up later that night. And whenever he did, Julia was there. She was there to at least inform Deku about what happened. And Deku, his injuries were still healing. And Julia tried to talk to him. Yeah, sorry about that, but Ben had to take his place for a second. What? Where am I? You're back home. Listen, you took a few hard knocks and you're okay. Morlun's dead, though. Oh. Oh. Well, shit. That's bad. Is Kane still out there? Yeah, he is. Okay. Deku actually going to sit up. I'm going to wince. As right now, Julia is going to bring her hand out. Her bringing it on Deku's shoulder, telling him to lay back down. And Deku, he does that to tell her. They need to stop Kane before he kills again. And Juliet is going to fall silent. Her going to tell Deku he's actually the one who killed Morlun. And Deku, he actually does look somewhat shocked. Him going to lay back down. So I did it? Yup. Shield, they didn't find a body. Is he actually dead? Heart stopped. Fist to his back. I mean, his heart shouldn't even have been there, so yeah, I'd say you killed him. But no body. No. That's the thing that's confusing me. Morlun worked alone, didn't he? He's supposed to. Right. That's bad. That sounds like it. I killed him. Yeah. I actually killed someone. Izuku, don't feel bad. I don't. It's just I know I've fought him before, but my powers were better. That's good, right? It is, but okay. Okay. I'm just trying to think about this. Izuku, there's no body. No one knows where he's at. He might still be out there. Uh, right. Right, I might just be overthinking this, but wait, Ben took my place. Mm-hmm. Your mom thinks that you're out with a friend right now. I believe me. So, there's that. Thanks. Don't worry. It's it's been a little rough, but we're all okay. It's hard to believe it's been almost 2 years. For you or for me? I guess both. I'm just still trying to wrap my head around a lot. Me not being Spider-Man anymore, and apparently now playing the part of my super secret identity girlfriend, I guess. I don't know. I'm sorry. My mom thinks me and you are dating. You have a concussion. Right. Sorry. I yeah, I'm gonna go get you some ice and hopefully you'll feel a bit better. All right? Just stay here and try to think. Can you do that? Julia, wait. Thanks for having my back. No problem. But Shield lost control of that clone. Apparently it's Doc Ock. Of course it is. Yep. So we have to go find him next and figure out what he's gonna do. I have a theory, but I'm not too sure. What's your theory? Well, Otto knows who you are, right? I don't believe so. Okay, but what would he do in your shoes? If he had your powers, and if he had any way to use them? He'd try and power himself up. Mm-hmm. Especially if he knew that you would come after him. He has that spider sense, but he doesn't know that we're immune to it. We're all immune to each other's. And that does mean a number of things. So, we need to find him and take him down. Hopefully before he realizes that. If Kane encounters him, he'll figure that out and be reclusive. Then we won't find him. Get answers. As to why he did all this. As to why he did this to me. Why he made you a girl. Yeah. I get he wanted to experiment, but this is low. I mean, I don't see why he'd need a female clone. Maybe he was just trying to see if he could. Maybe. Or was I just a mistake? I don't know. You were created. Yeah? And I might start breaking down. I don't know how long genetic stability has afforded me. So I might be fucked. Ah, poetic. Very much so. I was given life just to die. I don't exist for a while. I just think I'm me and I die with regrets. I die with weird things in my head. I die confused. You're not gonna die. How do you know that? Because Deku gonna sit up, turning to her, telling her, whenever he does get back on his feet, he's gonna try to go to Shield. He knows that Shield they've looked into these things before. And they have good research. One of the doctors he talked to talked about how a formula to cure them, it may be possible. However, they need samples of his DNA. He gave them some of his, and he's pretty sure Ben even gave a sample of his own. So, we're going to try and find out the differences and help them. Hell, maybe they won't get discontinued. Right now, Julia gonna stare at Deku. I'm gonna give her somewhat of a smile, and she's gonna comment on it. You know, he really is a nerd. Now, Deku does keep coughing, as right now, Julia tries to tell him, "Okay, okay, yeah, no, lay back down." I'm gonna do so, and she goes to talk about it. He definitely is injured. Oh, was that his rib hitting his lung, or no? No, he should be okay, but right, maybe some fluid in the lungs. They definitely need to get him x-rayed, and yeah, taking him to the shield is definitely an option. Okay, I hate to do this, but I feel like I'm gonna fall into his plan. What are you talking about? Shield. We need to take you to Shield. You need an actual Dr. Izuku. Okay. Now, Deku, he is taken to his feet. And right now, Julia, she does go to take Deku to Shield. And right now, Inko is worried about her son. And Deku, when he is taken aboard a Shield helicarrier, the doctors do analyze him. And his injuries, they're mostly healed. Yeah, he has fatigue and his body is putting that healing factor to work, but he does have evidence showing that he was injured in the lungs. But his body already took care of it. So, what they're dealing with might just be an after effect of the trauma. You know, like whenever you have an injury and you heal, but it doesn't heal correctly, it takes time to solve itself out, but his healing factor should correct it in a few hours. And Deku, he does understand. As the doctor, they even try to go over a few other things. They try and talk to Julia about her and her biology, especially when it does concern herself with Ben Riley. They have a good amount of evidence to pull from to try and help them, but having more DNA on file would definitely help. And Deku, he does lay in a hospital bed, as eventually he does recover. Now, Deku, he spends the night in the helicarrier, and whenever morning does roll around, he doesn't head out. Right now, I'm going to swing around the city to try and figure out what to do. Yes, his body is back in good condition, but at 100% it is not. And right now, Izuku, he does try to be careful. He tries to make sure not to swing on his other arm, not the injured one. He makes sure that if he does need to swing on it, he's careful. And he hasn't put down a lot of weight. However, a lot for Spider-Man is definitely not that much. Now, Deku, he does head out. And right now there is no sign of Kane. And Doc Ock, he can't be found. And that does pose a bit of a problem. Now, we actually do have the Rhino. The Rhino, he's popped up. And he wanted to cause a bit of havoc. He wanted to get some money and get rich quick. However, him attacking an armored vehicle right now, it doesn't turn out very good. Especially whenever Spider-Man, he does get to show up. And Deku, he does get to web him up and try and figure this out. As Rhino does get to break through the webs and get ready. I'm going to charge towards Spider-Man as Deku, he does a leap through the air. Him grabbing onto Rhino and actually hanging on to him. I'm going to web up the front of his mask and make sure the man can't see. Now, Deku, whenever Rhino does come charging towards him, Deku does get ready. Him bring his hands up. He may not be at 100%, but right now he does have a lot to think about in his head. And whenever Rhino does going to throw out his hands, Deku, he actually does a dodge. I'm going to move forwards and smash his hand up hard. I'm going to punch Rhino and send him actually flying up into the air. And right now, everyone, they're actually a bit more surprised. Deku going to throw out his other hand and shoot out a web. I'm going to pull Rhino back down hard as Rhino just come flying down into the ground. And right now, Deku, he does send the man falling to the ground. Him going to actually turn and get back up. I'm going to turn and look at Spider-Man. And Deku, he does feel a bit more angry. There's something going on in his head, and he doesn't understand it. There are a lot of things in his mind, some of them good and some of them bad. And right now, Rhino, he does see Spider-Man staying there, him with his hand up without saying a single word. And Rhino, he feels a bit afraid. He's never been punched that hard by Spider-Man. And right now, Spider-Man appears to not be in the mood. He appears to be serious. And right now, he immediately gives up. He wants to go to jail. Right now. And that told people everything. Spider-Man has been scaring people, along with the other ones running around and a few other things happening right now in the world. It hasn't been good. And right now, a few people, they do something to stand there. And they boo him. They yell at him. They scream at him. And they call him a mutant. Some people are throwing things. And Deku, he does someone just understand. With the way people are portraying him, seeing him, talking about him, they don't believe that he's a hero. J. Jonah Jameson. He's the reason why. And Deku, he does swing away. However, while Deku he does go swing through the air, a lot starts to happen. A few things go through his mind. And Deku's spirit sense, it does get to go off. Him actually going to somewhat turn and look around, as he does a swing of his body backwards and see somebody behind him. As right now Deku, he goes to see Iron Man. Him actually going to turn his body back and swing back around, before he does land onto a building. And Iron Man, he does go to land himself. Going to ask Deku if he can have a chat. Hi, Iron Man. Spider-Man. It's good to see you again. I need to talk to you. About? It's, about a lot happening, actually. Listen. How's the best way to explain this? Are you willing to come forward with your identity? Excuse me? Yes. You see, there's a number of things happening, and we need your help. If you're willing to come forward, it would greatly help us, but you don't have to. I'm sorry, why do you want me to reveal my identity? It's to help us. People believe that superhumans should be registered and monitored. There's been an incident. They used their powers, and a lot of people died. They were young and they were reckless. And you came to me because I got my father killed. Not exactly. You know exactly what it's like to be young and reckless. But I'm going to stop you right there. Tony Stark, you need to listen. Someone I know died because I was Spider-Man. If villains knew who I was, they'd hunt them down. I'd get more serious and I'd get more violent. I've noticed that. Are you alright? I just had to deal with a clone version of my dead ex-girlfriend. What do you think? No, you are not. Listen, kid. There's just a lot happening, and we can greatly use your help. My help? You can't be serious. Sadly, I am. Listen, it's just... Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. I have to go. Whatever you're planning or doing, I don't care for it. I want to be left out. Okay? Stark? Okay, kid. I get that, but consider my offer. Here. Tony Stark gonna bring his hand down, grabbing onto something, and gonna hold it out. As Deku does a grab onto it. Tony informing him. That has his number. It also has access to a few other superheroes. People on his side. If the captain comes around to talk to him, be careful. The man can say a few things to try and get him on his side, but many of them could be lies. Now, Spider-Man does try to ask the questions, wanting to know what he means. And Stark tries to tell him. What happened is quite simple. Some kids did something stupid and they messed up. And now, people, they want superheroes to be held accountable for their actions. These kids did something that made people die. And Spider-Man, you know, being a good example, could help show this is a good thing, not a bad thing. And Stark, he does want to try to push for Deku to do this. Be on their side, I mean. He can get paid as a superhero, his family can be protected, people he's close to will be given government protection. I mean, his life could ultimately be better if this is going to happen. Because people already know who the supervillains are. And the villains, they can be taken more seriously, given more prison time, given better security, better containment. And that does mean a number of things. But Deku is going to see the flaws. He tells Tony Stark he's not going to do it. But Tony, he's adamant about it. He wants Deku to consider it and to give him a phone call whenever he does have an answer. And Deku, he's confused as Stark hands over a device, talking about it. Captain America will try to talk to him, say a few things that are crazy, weird, good, or bad. So just keep that in mind. The guy, he's not fully stable at the moment, and Stark worries about him. Now, Tornado's going to turn and blast off, and Deku, he does still stand there holding the communicator. Captain America wants to try and talk to him. Yeah, sure. But I'll look into that more. I mean, something's going on with the superheroes apparently, and that's not good. So he wants to be prepared. Now, Deku is going to head back home. And right now he does have a few things on his mind. Him tapping away on his computer and looking into it more. He sees what happened, the accident, and the result from it. He sees how many people died. And it definitely does seem to be very bad. Young and reckless with their powers. That definitely does sound familiar. Young and reckless. Jesus. A reminder. But signing up for all this, being what? Essentially a government cop? An agent? Huh. That definitely sounds cooler, but it definitely sounds worse too. He's a superhero who saves people, saves the neighborhood. And right now he's being asked to what? It confuses him. He doesn't know how to handle this. He can't even handle Kane, and that's another story. Right now, someone going to swing in, them landing on the wall, and going to climb into the window. And Deku is going to turn to see Julia, and Julia does at least ask if he's okay. Hmm? I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just weird. What is? I met Tony Stark, and he wants me to reveal my identity. Are you serious? Yup. And I don't know how to deal with that. Are you okay? No, no. I'm just. Everything going on. I can't deal with it right now. Her gonna turn and walk over. Her walking over to the computer, going to bring her hand out, grabbing onto Deku's shoulder. You can talk to me or Ben. I know, Julia, but it's just weird. Weird how? I don't know. Whenever I'm around you guys, things feel normal. Deku bring his hand up and grabbing onto hers, as he does still stare at the computer. Things are weird between him and Julia, and that's saying very little in the matter. I mean, earlier, whenever he talked to Julia and they were just themselves alone, it felt strange. He had a weird thought go through his mind, but he just threw it out the window. No pun intended. And it's definitely weird. Now, Dago's gonna turn to Julia asking her, what does she think he should do? Her actually going to sit down on Deku's bed, telling him, honestly, she doesn't know. If she were him, she'd deny it or talk to one of the other guys, but she's not. They can try to handle Kane and he can try to focus on this. So, how about that? Uh, thanks, I guess. Don't thank me yet. We still have to handle your mom. And even Kane. And now apparently superheroes fighting each other. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, I guess it is. Mm-hmm. So, how do you pose that we deal with all that? I, uh, I don't know. Now, right now, Deku, him and Julia go to hear someone walking up the stairs. And Deku, he goes to turn. Oh crap, that's not good. And Julia, she just doesn't comment on it. Her gonna turn and bring her hand up. You know, she has an idea, and she really knows this is gonna look bad, but just let her take the lead. Now, Deku doesn't understand. As right now, Julia does grab him by the arm and pull him over. And we do currently have on Deku's bed. Where Deku, he does lay there. And then Inko is gonna open the door. Her going to talk about it. Izuku, we need to. Her going to stare on for a second. As Deku, he does stand there with his hands up and holding onto Julia. As right now, Inko does get a turn. Her going to close the door. And Deku, him and Julia do get a somewhat turn to look at the door. Okay. Yeah, you mind backing away? Did it work? Her going to somewhat sit up. Okay, that definitely was a close call. Yeah, yeah. Can you warn me next time you have a plan like that? I, sorry. Was that a bit much? Little bit. Especially whenever you. Too much tongue. My bad. Uh, so. Now what? Could you get off of me? No, we need to talk. Yeah, can you move first? I'm being serious. What is there to talk about? Kane. Do we kill him? He's sick, Julia. He's also me. Do we kill him? At some point, he stopped being you. He's crazy and deranged. He's trying to bring back Toga, and he already has. So what next? Bring back to your old dad? You know as much as I do. The amount of things going through his head are not good. I mean, what if he gets his hands on Venom? That'd be worse. Or what if he gets involved in this fiasco, or reveals your identity as Spiderman? We need to have a solution to this. I got that. But we can't just kill him, can we? We can. He's already going to die. So we just speed it up? If it's inevitable, why won't we just let him burn himself out? Because he can kill before then. Don't you remember what went through your head? With great power comes great responsibility. Kane's using my power, so he's my responsibility. God, I hate you. I'm sure you do. Then again, I just happen to be helpful. Now, Deku does somewhat stare up at Julia. Her gonna somewhat smile a bit. And Deku, he actually does not sit up. Him bringing his hands up and grabbing onto her. As right now the two do just want to stare each other down. Guess. It's weird for a second. This explosive of thought. This strange thing. Deku doesn't know what it is. instincts, a driving force, something. But it's definitely playing with his mind. And right now, him and Julia, the little makeout session, which just started, gets interrupted, where Inko is pounding on the door, talking about how she would like to talk to Izuku for a second. And right now, Deku, him and Julia do just won't pull away. As Deku does go turn to the door, and Inko just comment on it again. 5 minutes, right now. Get dressed and talk to her. And Deku, he does it to climb out of his bed. Him gonna slip on some sweatpants over the bottom of his suit. And right now, Deku, he does it to put on a shirt. I'm gonna walk out. As Inko, she wants to know why Deku never introduced this girl to her properly, nor why he apparently has been going out to parties, staying out late. And from what she doesn't understand, well, skipping class. Now, Deku does try to explain to his mother, but Inko, she tries to reassure her son. She's not mad, but she was hoping that Izuku would be better. She had a certain level of expectation from him. And him falling off the wagon like this, she can sort of understand, but she does hope that Izuku is being careful. There are decisions in his life that will affect his future, some more permanent than others. Inko tried to make that well apparent. And Deku, he does understand. But he does have that thought go through his mind. Something with him and Julia. Yeah, that's definitely a weird thing, but why did him and her kiss? Well, it's gotta be something with his powers, right? Yeah. Maybe maybe going out on patrol would help or distract him more. Yeah, maybe he needs to go out and swing around. Clear his head. That being on his mind. Him heading back to his room. And right now when he does arrive, Julia isn't there. And Deku, he does not understand. I'm going to sit back down and get ready for the night shift. As we do currently cut to somewhere on Earth. Someone, they sit there with a smile. They had a lot of things planned. And the Spider family, they're definitely going to be an interesting thing to deal with, especially for the particular predicament they're in. And right now, a man just stand there. He smiles, as he does it to put his disguise back on. Now, with that being said, the invasion has begun. Now, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day.